Hello dear listeners, and welcome back to my cosy little corner of the internet. The Sirensong is over, but not forgotten. It's the kind of song that stays with you long after the last note fades. Jasper and Eric certainly won't be forgetting it any time soon, and I hope you don't either. So, grab your favourite beverage, sit back, relax, and join me for a recap of Sirensong. The story began with Eric on board a fishing vessel in the middle of a storm. He was helping them make the boat more secure. Disaster struck as a mysterious song echoed in the storm. Eric woke up in a clinic as the only survivor of the incident and no memory of what happened. While Eric is resting in the clinic, Jasper is woken up by a haunting melody which lures him to the beach. He wakes up in his room the following morning and writes off the strange occurrences as a dream. He goes to school and falls asleep in class, which doesn't go unnoticed by his teacher, Mr. Hughes. He warns Jasper that if it happens again, he would have to call Jasper's mother. Jasper reassures his teacher that it wouldn't happen again. Meanwhile, Eric shows up at school, much to Jasper's shock. There is immediate tension between the boys, but Jasper is forced to work with Eric and show him around the school by Mr. Hughes, as recompense for sleeping in class. Jasper reluctantly agrees, but during the tour he is unable to contain his anger and resentment. He lashes out at Eric before storming off, leaving the other boy alone. Jasper attends the school paper at the end of the day, where he listens to the rumours surrounding Eric. He remembers the song from the night before, and based on the rumours, he deduces that Eric arrived the same day he heard the song. He talks to his friend Mel briefly before she leaves the room to take a phone call. She returns visibly upset and leaves the meeting early. Jasper returns home and is given a spell book by his mother. In mage families, a spell book is seen as a rite of passage for young mages. It allows them to practice magic more independently. Jasper eagerly accepts the gift and practices some spells before going to bed. He is awoken by the same song and leaves the house. The next day, Jasper decides to investigate Eric, ignoring Mel's warnings not to. He used an invisibility spell and followed Eric around without the other boy's knowledge. Jasper finds Eric at the beach looking out to sea and apologizing. Jasper finds Eric's behavior at the beach odd and becomes more suspicious of him. As Jasper leaves, he steps on a shell and is immediately caught by Eric. Jasper turns visible and he confronts Eric, demanding to know why he's on the island and what he's involved in. Eric reacts defensively and angrily, warns Jasper to stay away before he leaves. Jasper is angry that Eric is evading him, but he has no choice but to return home. Later that night, he hears the song again, and he's lured out to the beach. He sees a figure shrouded in shadow walk into the water. Jasper follows and sinks into the depths. As he's sinking, he remembers his childhood, where he's playing with a red-haired boy that looks like Eric. Jasper and Eric were friends in an orphanage. Jasper talks about how they'll be adopted together, and that they'll live a luxurious life. He asks Eric if they're friends, to which the latter confirms. Jasper is brought back to the present as he spots a flash of red swimming towards him and pulling him up to the surface. He's pulled on board a boat where he's tended to by his mother. He's taken back to the shore and is taken to the clinic as dripping wet Eric watches from the beach before walking away. As soon as Eric leaves, the tide comes in and a body washes up on the beach. In the clinic, Jasper reflects more on his childhood. He's rejected as a couple who were initially interested in adopting him pulled out at the last minute. Eric runs over excited, wanting to tell Jasper something. However, he noticed that Jasper was upset, and he comforted his friend when he learned what happened. Jasper noticed that Eric was excited and asked him why. Eric reluctantly shared the news that he was going to be adopted. Jasper's whole world started to collapse around him. He had hopes that he and Eric would be together, or at least be able to stay in touch. He became angry and lashed out at Eric. Jasper woke up in the clinic with his mother at his side. She asked him about Eric, and Jasper reluctantly stated that they were close once, but not anymore. He remembered the flash of red in the water and came to the realization that Eric saved him from drowning. He began to feel guilty for the way he treated Eric and wanted to find him to make amends. His mother told him he needed to stay in the clinic, but before she could say anything else, a police officer entered and asked to speak with her. Jasper's mother left the room, and Jasper crept up to the door and listened in on the conversation. The officer told his mother that a body was found washed up on the shore, and based on the decomposition, they had no idea how long it had been out at sea for. Jasper was horrified by what he had heard, but he was resolute in his resolve to find Eric. He used magic to create a duplicate of himself before he climbed out of the window. He wandered through town searching for Eric before he found him at the old abandoned lighthouse. Jasper carefully approached Eric and told him that they needed to talk. Eric had his guard up from their last encounter, but seeing that Jasper was no longer being aggressive, he relented. Eric admitted that he was involved with the song, but he wasn't the cause. He was the target, and Jasper was collateral. The two agreed that they would work together to resolve the issue. After that, they weren't sure. Jasper's mother arrived at the lighthouse angry and concerned that Jasper left the clinic. Jasper refused to return to the clinic, stating he was fine. She relented and allowed him to go home. She spots Eric and recognizes him. Jasper asks if Eric could stay the night. She's shocked at the sudden request, but agrees on the condition that Jasper gives her more notice next time. They arrive home and Jasper's mother orders pizza, while Jasper and Eric go upstairs to Jasper's room. Eric is happy that Jasper was finally adopted by someone who loves him and cares about him. The two talked and Jasper asked the question that was burning in his brain for years. Why didn't you keep in touch? Eric was confused and stated that he had tried writing to Jasper and calling him. Jasper admitted that he didn't receive anything from Eric. Eric was puzzled and asked Jasper if he ever got in touch with him. Jasper confessed that he did, and Eric told him that he didn't receive anything from Jasper. The two boys come to the realization that someone was sabotaging their efforts to communicate. Jasper's mother brings pizza and sleeping gear up to them and tells Eric to call her Rosemary, and that he didn't need to be so formal around her. She leaves and the two eat the pizza, enjoying the quiet and mundane moment. Once he had eaten, they started to discuss plans on how to deal with the song. Jasper stated that he could try a noise dampening spell to protect them from the effects of the song. Eric points out that using the spell on them both would mean that they wouldn't be able to track the song to its source. He suggested that Jasper use the spell on only one of them. Jasper wanted to use the spell on Eric, but Eric told Jasper to use it on himself instead. Jasper reluctantly agreed, and Eric told Jasper that they should have a drink before they started. Jasper left the room to get drinks, and Eric looked around the room. He found a cupboard where Jasper kept some potions. Eric grabbed a sleeping potion and hid it in his pocket as Jasper arrived with drinks. While Jasper grabbed his spell book to prepare, Eric sneakily poured a couple of drops into one of the drinks. Jasper cast a spell on himself, and he felt like he was underwater constantly. Eric took one of the drinks and offered Jasper the other. They both drank, and Jasper started to feel drowsy. Eric's face was the last thing he saw before he passed out. When Jasper woke up, he saw that Eric was gone. He tried to remember what Eric had said, but because of the effects of the spell, he couldn't hear Eric, and the other boy was speaking so fast that it was difficult to read his lips. Jasper finally figured out that Eric said, "I'm sorry." Fearing for Eric's life, Jasper left the house and followed the familiar path to the beach. He found footprints in the sand descending the shoreline. Convinced that Eric was out at sea, he entered a boat storage shed and grabbed a boat. He was found by his mother, and he removed the spell. She berated him for leaving after everything that had happened. Jasper told her that Eric was in trouble and that he had to help him. She helped Jasper get the boat out, but she became upset when he told her he needed to do it alone. She reluctantly agreed, and she tried to tell him something. He told her that he already knew about the body, and he was no longer mad that she kept it from him. Jasper steered the boat out to sea and frantically called out Eric's name. He saw a large ship ahead and steered towards it. As he approached, he heard singing coming from the ship, but it was different to what he had heard previously. It was a warning for him to stay away. Jasper resisted and ignored the warning. He was able to reach the ship and climbed aboard. When he did so, he spotted the crew doing tasks, but when he got a closer look, he saw that their eyes were dull, like they were hypnotized. Jasper was able to sneak below deck and approach the dark room, where he was grabbed and dragged inside. Jasper fought against his attacker and was able to give himself enough space to create a light orb. He was shocked to see that his attacker was Eric. Frustrated, Jasper demanded answers from Eric. The redhead sighed and revealed to Jasper what actually happened the night of the incident. Jasper reassured Eric that he wasn't going to abandon him, and that he felt bad for falling asleep at the worst time. Eric revealed that he had drugged Jasper with his own potion because he wanted to keep Jasper safe. Jasper wanted to be mad at Eric, but he couldn't find himself to be truly mad at him. Eric asked if Jasper received his warning. Jasper said he had, but ignored it. Eric lightly teased him. But their conversation was cut short when they heard the song again and banging against the door. They ran as fast as they could out of the room, but Jasper tripped and lost track of Eric. He stumbled in the dark, calling out Eric's name as he tried to fight off the song's effects. He found a room with moonlight pouring in through the portholes, but he still couldn't see very well. He entered the room and spotted someone slumped at a desk, a static reverberating in his brain, and he passed out. Jasper woke up and was face to face with Eric. He learned quickly that he was bound to a chair. He started to panic, and Eric tried to keep him calm. Jasper could tell that Eric had already given up. Jasper's fear turned into annoyance and later resolve as he fiddled with the cuffs with a pick-locking spell. He eventually freed himself and went to free Eric when a woman's voice broke through the static of the radio and mocked them for their sentimentality. Eric pleaded with her to let Jasper go and that he would stay. In a rare moment of guilt, she told Eric that Jasper had seen too much and that she would need to take him too. A lullaby erupted through the radio, making them feel drowsy. Jasper fought against it and zapped the radio with a lightning spell. Jasper quickly freed Eric, and the two agreed to end it together. They ran out of the room, avoiding the hypnotized men that were chasing them. They arrived at the ship's control room, where they met a woman with long red hair and blue eyes. She congratulated them for making it this far, but told them that she would put an end to their rebellion. Jasper and Eric tried their best to defend themselves against her, but she was faster and stronger than them. Jasper used up more magic than usual to defend himself. The woman grabbed Eric, but Jasper used up the last of his strength to throw a wind spell at her. The spell knocked her off balance, but he was shocked to see that the woman's form had changed. Jasper recognized her. It was his friend, Mel. She told Jasper that he should have heeded her warning. Jasper was angry and hurt by her actions. He wanted to know why she did it. However, he was exhausted by the whole thing and didn't have the energy to lash out at her. Instead, he shut down emotionally. Mel felt remorseful for her actions. She walked over to the control panel and pushed a button, shutting the song down for good. She removed a disc and handed it to Eric just as the Coast Guard, led by Rosemary, arrived. Mel was arrested. The men on board the ship came to their senses with no memory of what happened. Jasper and Eric were taken back to the island. A few days later, Jasper was sitting on the beach writing in his notebook as he thought about the aftermath with Mel and the ship crew members. Eric approached him and he asked Jasper if he was going to publish the story with the school paper. Jasper admitted that he wasn't sure at the moment. They started to talk about the summer holidays and Jasper asked Eric if he was going to stay. Eric confirmed that he was before he advised leaving the beach because it was getting dark. Jasper asked Eric if it was really over. Eric admitted that he didn't think it would be over, but they were safe for now. Jasper asked Eric what he did with the disc Mel gave him, and he stated that he had destroyed it. Jasper remarked that it was for the best before they left the beach, silently preparing for anything else that would come their way. In an office building far away, a woman walked down a hallway and entered an office. She told her boss that Mel had failed to bring in Eric. The chair turned, revealing a woman with long red hair and bright blue eyes wearing a business suit and high heels. She gave the assistant a sinister smile and remarked, "There was always next time." That's the recap for Sirensong. I hope it served as a satisfying reminder of the previous events and prepares you for what is to come. If you want to hear the story in full again, you can always listen to the episodes again. If you can't wait for season 2, you can always buy my books on Amazon or follow along. I'll leave a link in the episode notes. Want to join Eric and Jasper in their investigations? Then visit my Etsy shop for all your supernatural sleuthing needs. Again, I'll leave a link in the episode notes. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you all on the 7th of July 2026 for season 2.